Hey, I'm Justin Rohner of Agriscaping.com. I'm out here in one of the most fertile parts of the desert here in Florence, Arizona. And out here you'll find pockets of houses that just kind of carved their space into the desert. Places like this, well, they require a little bit more traveling around, a little bit more ingenuity in order to get things to work. So we want to show you what we're doing out here, out in Florence, even I guess it's a little southeast of Florence, where we're creating a nice little oasis for a couple of clients, growing their own food, and we'll show you some of the cool things at this site. So at some of these larger sites, it's important to have a slightly different mode of transportation to be able to get around the project. And a one-wheel suits me just fine. So we're heading on back to this back area. A lot of changes have happened to this particular property. There's a lot of additions, gone from the single wide to something a little bit bigger. But we got some beautiful features to really bring the Grecian kind of feel to it. Everything has a medical or edible or medicinal value to it, including a year-round productive greenhouse where we've got our team inside. We'll show you what we're doing down in there. So greenhousing in Arizona isn't a typical thing, but it's an important piece of this puzzle because we can grow year-round pretty much anything. But trick is you got to make sure in the summer it's a shade house and in the winter it's a greenhouse. But this particular one is a little different than most because we've buried it about 4 feet underground, and we're using a pretty cool technology. We're using geothermal technology in order to keep it cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter by utilizing the temperature deep down inside the earth. So a geothermal system essentially is creating a heat exchanger between areas deeper within the earth. We've got a well that's been drilled 300 feet down, and we've got two types of systems. We've got an open geothermal system where we're pumping air. You can actually probably hear the fan in the background. It's pumping air down into the earth at the very bottom, and then it's taking that colder air and forcing, so we're pushing warm air down right now, and we're pumping that, the cold air is then being forced through the pipe into the greenhouse. We also have a second system, which is a closed loop system, and in that same channel going down under the ground, we actually have tubing. We have water with a little bit of antifreeze in it, so more of a natural antifreeze, and it's going down through there and then comes through a radiator that we're going to install, and then that radiator has a booster fan that then blows through the radiator, taking whatever temperature is down below and bringing it up to the surface. I'll show you a little bit of how that thing works. All right, so right now you can see we've got 91 degrees inside the greenhouse, and the air coming out is at 80.4, and we just barely turned the system on, so it's likely going to come down a little bit more. But this is the open system. This is our cord going in to give us the temperature of what's the intake temperature coming in. There's our booster pump that's pumping down inside of the well. Okay, that tube goes down 300 feet, and then it's pumping the air to the very bottom of that well, and then the air then gets forced back through this T and comes out through this area right here. So we have a little bit of airflow. We've got a little box fan that's helping to circulate that air, and so we're starting to bring that temperature a little bit more down inside here. And then the other system, these are the tubing coming for our other geothermal system that we'll be adding in a little bit later. So inside this greenhouse, we got some in-ground beds. We've amended this soil down about 24 inches with a lot of good stuff. Better than a raised bed mix without all the perlite, but we do have some lava rock, and it's been pumped in. We've got a lot of coffee grounds in there, some worm castings, so we've really amended the soil in the central section. And then we're putting in these raised beds. These are wicking beds, but they'll have an automated irrigation system. And you can see the twine that we're starting to set up. So this twine will be for our winter tomatoes and our winter cucumbers. So it goes off to the back side of the bed, and we'll be planting them every 12 inches inside this bed once we get all the soil in there. So there'll be a plant right inside of there, and we'll be able to kind of drape it up. And then our cucumbers and everything will be hanging off the side at a little bit of an angle, as well as our tomatoes, giving ourselves still a pretty good buffer off the outside face, making sure these all work. So there'll be 8 plants per bed on the back side, but you can see we'll still have a lot of space in this front part to actually continue to grow more veg and fruits. Looking at doing some strawberries, so some winter strawberries and some other cool stuff that we'll be able to do in there. And then the lower bed can still handle more of your greens, your rooting crops. So this is all of our root beds. So we'll have radishes, turnips, carrots, a lot of root crops in this space. And then on the outside, in our traditional raised beds, which we've got nice and blocked out over here, we're going to be refilling these a little bit more. It's now the new cycle, and you can see some things are starting to grow already, but we'll be growing in these beds. These all have the nice drip emitters in them. So this is a water blanket grid that we talk about in the Agriscaping Mastery course that helps evenly water. Very efficient system. Same system that we're using for this is a giant herb bed that they're working on here. Got the myrtle berries all around the edges, nice basils. Got some wild tobacco, which actually has a lot of medicinal value. And you can see that beautiful view right back to the house. This is a cute little dwarf peach tree. These things are actually very productive, especially for the amount of space they take up. This is a Bonanza dwarf peach. Very beautiful little tree. It will lose its leaves in the wintertime, but in the summer and spring, obviously you can kind of see, it's just a cute little specimen bush that grows up or can grow up to about 4.5 feet tall. So another curious and unique feature are these pastures or the big grass areas that we've got at this site. Now, something very unique about this site is that this grass was planted about 8 months ago, and it has never been mowed. Now, the reason it's never been mowed is because every morning there are about 100 rabbits out here eating the grass. That is amazing. They've never had to mow this thing all through the summer. It looked amazing and green. We're starting to get into the winter months are just starting to kick in, so the nights are getting colder. But here's one interesting component though. Now that they have put the block wall, which just went in last week, we're starting to see a lot more growth in our bed. So they've decided maybe we should add some more portals to let the rabbits back in. I'm only kidding. They still don't want the rabbits as they're growing more and more stuff. They want to keep them out or at least be able to regulate their flow. So they may actually now have to get lawnmowers. Now their lawnmower of choice is actually a sheep, which they have at another offsite location just about a 1/4 mile away.